Welcome to game one of Lotus Infamous versus Lotus Infamous Academy. I'm JV. I'll be doing play-by-play tonight. I'm joined with the one and only Waffle Wheel and
Hello.
Yoshi on
Dog.
the TriCast tonight. Yeah, I mean, they're zooming through this draft. I haven't seen either of these teams play too many games, but we already have a lot of high prio picks taken up and banned across the board here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Viego being a very strong pick. Diana, Gwen, very good picks. Uh, Surprised that Nocturne isn't first picked here. Instead, they pick up Echo. The response Xin Zhao or Khan. Xin Zhao, known as one of the best junglers actually right now. Aside from the Diana and the Gwen, the Viego. I'm very surprised to see Rakan though. I'm surprised about that.
Yeah. Zinjao is a very strong pick, especially for the early game. And once Diana, Gwen, and Viego are all banned, I think it's a good pickup. As we see the Leona and the Echo being picked up as well. This is kind of a awkward comp because Echo's usually trying to scale and play far back, but I think they're looking for engage here. We'll see what they pick up next.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Infamous right now picking up the Echo Leona really early, kind of showing their hand that they want to probably draft somewhat of a dive comp. Varus on top of that. Varus has really good setup with the ultimate, and obviously Varus is still really high prio in the ADC role and offers so much to his team. Uh, it's pretty easy to get onto, so the Zinzao and Rakan shouldn't have too hard of a time to get on to the Varus, and Zaya being picked up third, so they got the lovers duo in the bot lane here for Infamous Academy.
See, but I'm surprised by that though, because the Zyra Khan, while it is a strong duo, a lot of times it struggles when it comes to dealing with these long range AD carries, these people who are just able to outrange Zaya that don't want to fight with Zaya. And then when you pick up the Varus, you have the long range Q to poke her out, the E, lethality Varus completely destroys Zaya during the laning phase, during the mid game. The Zaya's just gonna have a really rough time this game. Echo Leona don't even need to really go in. Varus can just poke them out. So I'm surprised to see the Zaya here. Maybe she's just gonna try and outplay him with bush cheeses or just follow up with a Rakan engage. But overall, I'm surprised to see it.
Yeah. Infamous banning out some of the uh strong top tanks, especially since Academy doesn't have any frontline right now, which they're looking to pick up. I'm assuming R4. We'll see what they get.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Mundo being banned away first rotation blue side. Maybe Infamous Academy have been playing a lot of Mundo lately, so Infamous would just rather not let that one through just in case. Like you said though, Ornn Gangplank taken away in the second rotation of bans here. And on the opposite side, Renekton and Hecarim taken away from the Infamous. And it looks like Infamous Academy are going to pick up the Shen in the top lane. So Mordekaiser is still available, kind of like the classic pick into the Shen as the quote unquote counter. But Shen is definitely going to provide more safety for the Zaya into the Echo dive, Leona dive, but can also play aggressive with the Zinzao and Rakan going forward. So I'm interested to see how well Infamous Academy can use the Shen ultimate.
And I love this response too with what you're
Yeah.
just saying. The response to the set, they're probably going to pick up another long range or disengaging champion. I mean, that'd be a beautiful response here. Zaya, once again, it looks like she's their hyper carry. She is the one who's going to be doing the damage in this comp, and they're just trying to keep her alive. But if you choose these champions who stop their engage, who keep everybody off the bars, Echo gets onto Zaya, it gets really difficult for them to actually hold this comp back.
Set is actually Aatrox, by the way. I just saw in the lobby chat. So unfortunately, I think Set would have been an amazing pick here, but it's actually going to be Aatrox in the end. So Aatrox, Silas are going to be the last two picks here for Infamous. And I'm really not sure how much I like this comp now rounded out on the side of Infamous.
Well, I can kind of see the logic behind it a little bit. Obviously, the set would have been really good for the disengage, but the
Ooh.
Aatrox dominates the Shen in the laning phase.
Vygar, last pick. I really
Ooh.
like this. I haven't seen Vygar in a while, but like you said, Zaya was the only carry, but now they have the late game scaling and damage one shot potential of the Vygar. Obviously, the cage is super effective in the mid game. zoning around objectives, getting picks and whatnot. So I think I have to favor Infamous Academy's comp a little bit here. It's not too, I don't favor it too much. I mean, Infamous have many tools to try to snowball early game, and they have the stronger lanes individually, but I kind of like Academy's comp overall.
Yeah, I would have to kind of disagree actually. I mean, yeah, I think both comps are really good, but I noticed that Academy actually doesn't have that much DPS early on. Yeah, maybe if Vigar gets the stacks in the beginning and those early kills, he can snowball the game, but I feel like Infamous comp is just so much easier to execute, especially with the Wombo. Yeah, I also would have liked to see the set top, but I think Aatrox is still pretty good, especially with the self-sustain. Um, but we'll see how it plays out. I think if Academy focuses on playing front to back and disengaging with Xayah, Shen ult, and Xin Zhao ult, they can definitely win some fights. But if they manage to get the Wombo off on Infamous, could be pretty scary.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all I have to add to that is I kind of agree with both of you here. I think Infamous comp really strong. Obviously, their solo lanes are going to be dominating in the early game. Their bot lane, it's kind of even, but Varus is going to start poking out Xayah. But once we get to these mid game, late game team fights, if Infamous Academy goes even, they have a heavy chance to start standing their ground, to start looking for these 1v9 Xayah or Viagar plays. But at the same time, this early game is going to be really rough for them. Xin Zhao's just going to have to carry it. Rakan's going to have to carry it a little bit. But I really think it just comes down to the skill of the teams. At the end of the day, if whichever team plays more as a cohesive group is going to win this one out. Because either way, these comps work very well against each other. It just comes down to who pulls it off better.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I want to go back and look at the jungle matchup specifically, looking at the Echo versus the Xin Zhao here in the jungle. I want to look over to you, Yoshi. I know you do play a decent amount of Echo jungle. How do you think this matchup works at the different stages of the game?
Yeah, so I actually think Xin Zhao is just gonna take over the game early on. Echo is extremely weak early. Yes, he is pretty safe with his E, his slow, and his Q, so maybe he won't get punished that hard in the early game, but I'm more worried about his laners, right? How is he gonna try to counter gank or even try to help pressure lanes when Xin Zhao is just all over the place, especially with that early pressure from Xin Zhao? He's just insane. His base stats are insane, and Echo just needs to try to scale and hope for the best.
Yeah. So, before we go into the spectate delay really quick, I want to go Waffle. Who do you have taking game one here?
I think my take, man, I'm gonna have to lean towards Infamous here, just because I as an ADC player, if I was in this matchup, I feel like I'd be very confident into this Xayah. Just poke her out, snowball the laning phase, take over the map.
Yoshi?
Yeah, I would have to agree with Waffle. I think Infamous is just gonna tear team fights apart. I mean, I like both comps, but team fight comps are just generally a lot easier to execute than front to back / like disengage. So I'm going for Infamous here.
All right, well, you heard it here. We're gonna go to a short break before we hop into game one. Don't go anywhere. Welcome to game 1 of Lotus Infamous versus Lotus Infamous Academy here. We have Academy on the red side and Infamous will be on the blue side. Once again, I'm JVL. I'll be doing play-by-play, and I'm joined by my two beautiful, handsome color casters, Waffle and Yoshi. And it
Hello.
looks like they might do some level 1 shenanigans here.
Oh yeah. Looks like
I'm
they're going for the
surprised.
stack.
I mean, Zyra Khan level 1. I mean, this is what they're playing for. I don't know if they're actually going to invade. Maybe they're looking for an invade. They could think, oh, their level 1's really strong. They're going to invade. But I mean, playing around the Zyra Khan level 1. I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I don't think they're actually going for the invade. Looks like they were just stacking up. Hopefully expecting the infamous, but nothing much. Nothing interesting, just a 5-point, and looks like they're going back to their place. So
Yeah, we have ZBO Gap here on the Xin Zhao, going to be starting his blue buff on the bot side. Echo Inverse starting his own blue buff up on the top side. And maybe Echo looking to make an early appearance bot lane. I'm not sure. What lane do you think this Xin Zhao needs to play through here early on?
yeah, so I would actually start topside and path bot because Shen is not obviously a hyper carry, right? So if I were Xin Zhao, I would definitely focus on getting Zyra con fed. That's their win con, right? And he has to focus on that. But maybe if he can get a pick on Aatrox and get him behind early on, he can stop that early pressure. So we'll see what happens. Echo is pathing bot. Looks like he's going for the full clear top side into bot. And I think he's making the right play. I think getting Varus and Leona ahead is the play. So we'll see who gets the lead early.
Yeah, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about this bot lane. I'm actually very surprised looking at this. Both ADCs going cleanse. Now, I can see Zyra going cleanse. It makes a lot of sense. Surprised it's not a heal from Rakan, but it's a lot of sense for Zyra to go cleanse. But Varus, I'm curious. Why do you guys think Varus wins cleanse here?
Varus cleanse? I'm not really
Cage?
sure.
Maybe Vigard Cage.
Here comes Leona, though. Level 2 onto the Xayah, gonna land the stun. Xayah taking a lot of damage here already. Still the Xayah. Oh, meanwhile, dive in the mid lane going really aggressive onto Sody Pop. Flash forward. Going to pick up the first blood. Flash used, and here we go again. Fish on the bot side. Engage again. Ignite gonna go onto the Rakan. Not who you want the Ignite going on to, but already we see the lanes of Infamous really taking over.
Yeah, definitely a lot of action already. As we saw, we got a solo kill in the mid lane, which is going to be huge for Silas, especially since they want to snowball this early game comp and transition into team fights. Oh.
Okay, ZBO Gap hovering around topside. He is on a ward, so Midai is very aware of what Academy are trying to do up here as JK with the Rakan engage. Gonna land the knockup onto Linguini. Xayah stepping forward, gonna have to flash away. Exhaust being dropped. Root not gonna land onto anyone, and Linguini picking up a kill onto this Varus. And we have Heaven Time on the Echo looking for the flash stun. Echo's not even going to be needed. That's a double kill for Linguini. Flash forward to finish off the Xayah, and this is a disastrous early start here for Academy.
Yeah,
Honestly,
really well played.
Yeah. I mean, I'm watching Infamous right now. They are doing fantastic. I mean, I love seeing them play like this. The solo kill from the Silas, the Varus double kill bot lane. Just beautiful gameplay. They know their win con.
Oh my god, Midai going hyper aggressive here, but here comes ZBO Gap on the Xin Zhao, gonna get the 3-pronged strike knockup. Midai trying to slide away, but the red buff is applied. ZBO Gap now trying to finish this one off, gonna dash forward, and that's gonna be enough to finish him off. And at least ZBO Gap here on the Xin Zhao gonna return 1 for Academy.
Yeah, really unlucky for Midai right there. He almost got the solo bolo, but didn't quite manage to get the last auto off. And good job by ZBO to finish that kill. And it's going to help him definitely with the early game pressure. So, really well played.
Yeah, honestly, extremely impressive. ZBO, obviously, he's looking for many ganks here. He's trying to find plays. He might feel a little pressured here. Shen going in.
And Fresh Burger. Oh, dive in the mid lane. Here comes Fish on the Leona looking for a roam. Not going to be able to get anything from it, but we see already Dive playing so aggro into this Sylas Vygar matchup where early on this Vygar is going to be super, super vulnerable to getting just straight solo killed by the Sylas. We already saw it happen early on. And now Midai with this massive wave about to crash and taunt going to land, and Fresh Burger looking for these aggressive trades repeatedly in the top side.
Yeah, this is definitely what we were.
Here comes the Echo. Flash away from Shen, gonna get him out of the stun, but drug back in, and Heaven Time picking that one up onto the Echo, and Jungle returning the favor in the top lane.
So impressive, knowing he's overextended, knowing he's trying to crash a wave, hovers, finds the kill. Beautiful. That was well executed, and I mean, you can't really be too scared to say. I think if Mrs. ahead here, the only going in though.
Early cleanse onto the Xayah. Actually, not early gonna cleanse off the stun from Fish, and here comes the root gonna land onto the Varus, and it will be a trade of cleanses in the bot lane for the ADCs. But Linguini taking a little bit more damage here than the Xayah, and both of these teams are so bloodthirsty as we see Leona charging up the Hex Flash once again. Zenith Blade gonna land, no cleanse this time. Root landing as well. But no blood spilled just yet.
Oh my god, JVL, you are not getting a break with this bot lane. They're just constant fighting. Oh,
Zenith Blade over the wall. Fish is going for the magical journey with the blast cone. Here comes the arrow, gonna take ZBO Gap extremely low, but the Shen shield coming in to save him. Dive is here with the Xin Zhao ultimate himself, but it looks like Infamous do not want to take this any further, and both teams are gonna walk away.
yeah.
I mean, that is a great play, honestly. Getting the Shen ultimate puts Aatrox so far ahead now, because Shen, he doesn't have TP, he doesn't have any way to get to top lane very easily. You saw that he was staying there trying to look for a play because he knows he's going to lose a lot top lane, and that just puts the Varus so far ahead of Xayah too, because now, if they go in, they know Shen ult's down, TP's down, Xin Zhao, he's low, he has the reset, Xayah's 1 HP, she can't stay for these waves, and that's just going to get Varus even more ahead, and this snowball is just really starting to come into effect.
Yeah, definitely. Aatrox is getting so much far ahead of this Shen. 15 CS up already, and he's looking to back here. Oh, maybe an engage.
ZBO Gap gonna land the Pokey Stick ability that I don't know the name of, but not gonna follow up there with the E.
Wind becomes lightning.
Yeah, is that what it's actually called?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, why would they name that?
Yeah.
Midai hovering in the mid lane.
This is actually what we were talking about in Champ Select, right? Infamous has such, not really an early game comp, but they have early game skirmishers that they can just abuse the enemy team. Vygar is just looking to scale, and so is Shen with his ults, but they're not letting them. They're just in their jungle right now looking for their blue buff, and ZBO Gap just can't play the game right now.
Yeah, 3 members of Infamous on the blue buff. ZBO Gap actually going to be able to pick it up, but that's going to be the Infernal Drake going over to Infamous. And like you said, Yoshi, I mean, Infamous are completely just taking it to Academy here early on, and that's what we wanted to see out of the comp that Infamous drafted.
Sylas going
Dive in the mid lane. Gonna land pretty much everything. Soda Pop taken down to about a quarter HP here. And ZBO Gap hovering in the Fog of War, I believe. Only level 5 still, not quite has the level 6.
I mean, I just really quick want to say this about their comp. I mean, Infamous is playing so beautifully as a team. When they were trying to go for the play at the blue buff, Aatrox comes down, covers the wave for Sylas. That way Sylas isn't, none of the CS is wasted. He goes back top and it catches wave. They're playing like a unit together, and that's how they're really getting ahead here. They know what their comp's meant to do. They know their win con, and they are pushing it as far as they can.
Yeah. Infamous definitely has a massive lead right now. Almost a 2K. Oh, they get Vygar Flash here. Now the question is, how do they need to play this game to snowball into victory? They need to start getting Rift and objectives and trying to put this pressure on other lanes, for example, top. I could even see some dives here with Sylas stealing Shen ult and things like that. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when I was saying who I favor, I was going with the Varus pick here, because the Varus, he's going to outrange Xayah and he's going to really, really punish her. And right now, CS lead is huge. I think once he gets his first item, he just takes bot tower with Rift Herald, goes mid lane or goes top lane, takes that tower, goes to the other lane again, takes that tower, and they're just going to open up the map. Because once the map is open, once mid tower is gone, where does Veigar have anywhere to run to? He has nowhere to run to. He just can't play the game anymore because he's so immobile. And that's when they're really going to crack it open, get a second Rift Herald, just run it down mid at that point. I mean, they've practically won if they can get to that stage.
Yeah, I actually like how you point that out. Veigar, once he's forced into the side lane, is going to be at a massive disadvantage into the Sylas. Sylas obviously going to flourish much more in the side lane than a Veigar, and Veigar is not going to have much safety there. So yeah, I completely agree. Breaking open the map is going to be vital here for Infamous, but CBO Gap going to get jumped on by the Echo here. Not going to be able to get the stun, excuse me, because of a nice ultimate from ZBO Gap, and he's looking to turn it. His dive is here, though, in a 1v3 situation. No one's here to help me dive, picking this one up. Sody Pop looking to return something possibly, but not going to have the damage. The early game Veigar doesn't cut it just yet. And although Herald's picked up for Academy, that's going to be another kill over to Infamous.
Ooh, going
dive in the mid lane, though, with the Veigar ult. Gonna hit him with it, and another solo kill here for Dive on the Sylas. 2-0-1 now, and Infamous are going absolutely crazy. Heaven Time in the top lane. Looks like he's gonna get the stun onto Fresh Burger, but the flash away gonna save him for now. Midai actually having to flash away, but Heaven Time will be able to finish off that one. Uses the ultimate to get rid of the tower aggro. And it is going downhill fast as ZBO Gap looking for the flash W, not going to land it, and now he's in a 1v2, so squishy.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Picking up another kill, and it is falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, I am sorry to say it, but it is looking rough for Academy right now. They do have scaling, they do have the Veigar and the Xayah Rakan, but at this point, they're very far behind, and I think they need to start looking to find ways to slow down the bleeding, because right now they are just getting destroyed in almost every lane, if not all.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say it better myself, and they're trying their best though. I mean, they have not given up. Xin Zhao, he goes for the Rift Herald. He knows he might die. He might lose his life here. No one can support him, but he wants to get the Rift Herald to keep Veigar in the mid lane. He doesn't want that tower to fall. He knows he has to get that Rift Herald, even if his team can't use it. He needs to stop them from getting it. So he dies for the Rift Herald. Beautiful play. Obviously, a little bit of an outplay onto the Echo, making sure he can't stun him. Secures the Rift Herald. The play following, very unfortunate, but still, they are trying their best here. And, I mean, you always got to try till the end because it's not over till it's over.
Yeah. They definitely have a win con, right? They have the Veigar, like I said. They have the scaling. And I think they just need to play a bit slower. Oh, we see a fight here.
Midai taking it to Fresh Burger here. And Shen trying to turn it around and going to taunt back under his own turret, but the Aatrox with the Gore Drinker completed is just so strong in the top side as Fish going to go in with the Zenith Blade, cleansed out an ultimate from Mobai, try to save himself some time, but here comes Xin Zhao, going to get rooted up by the Echo, nice stun onto 2, but here comes the TP from Midai, popping the ultimate, looking to finish this one off, and this has Academy's name, or excuse me, Infamous name written all over it, as Academy trying to make a run for it, but Midai is going to clean it up, and a beautiful cross-map play here for Infamous.
Yeah. This is exactly what I wanted to see from Infamous. They got the early kills, they got the early advantages, and now they're putting that pressure in other lanes. They're putting it bot, putting it top, and even diving and getting multiple kills for it. And I think they're picking up this drag as well. So really, really well played.
Yeah, and I mean, and I think it's exactly like we were saying in draft. It really just comes down to which team is able to best utilize their advantages, right? Which team can really push that. And I honestly think that it's been a combination of not only just the players working together, but also it seems a little bit like a gap in some of these lanes during this game. And I mean, very impressive, honestly. But Sylas looking for a play here.
Yeah, Dive not going to land the second part of the chain, but Fresh Burger might bite off a little more than he can chew here. Is Dive going to go under a turret, pick that one up with the Kingslayer, healing up most of his health bar.
TP.
And TP coming in from Sody Pop, though. ZBO Gap is waiting in the fog of war here, trying to make something happen. Is Midai now making his way to top. And it looks like Dive is actually going to be able to get out of this one.
Oh wow! I mean, that is, very, very well managed. I mean, to disengage that, but they're going in.
Stolen Shen ultimate dive going forward now. Sody Pop's gonna get taken down. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, a 2v2, but Heaven Time's gonna be able to pop the ultimate and go back in time. ZBO gap now 2v1 under turret, gonna get taken down by Midai. And I mean, I don't want to say it's over, but it's time to start thinking about game 2.
I mean, save it up, save your mentals for the next game. I mean, this is such a cleanly played game by Infamous. I don't blame Academy here. They played this one so well. I mean, Academy can still come back. They still have a chance. But with the way that Infamous has been playing, it's been so clean. Rarely any mistakes. I doubt that they're really going to throw this one. It just comes down to, can they end it, really?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one thing we have to keep in mind is we never really we never really know what's gonna happen here. So who knows? Maybe Infamous goes for some greedy plays and makes a couple mistakes. We see Leona here looking for the Xin Zhao. I don't know if they're actually gonna go for it. Oh, she tries to go for the steal, but doesn't manage to get it. It was close.
Yeah, that's one small advantage towards the Xin Zhao.
Steal there.
Yeah. Oh, I think Silas was looking. Oh, it steals Xin
Stolen
Zhao.
Xin Zhao ult, trying to look for the chains there, not gonna land.
I mean, this is beautiful right here. We're seeing Infamous just choke them to death, not letting them have room to breathe. Xin Zhao can't even transition from his Raptors to his Wolves without being threatened a kill. I mean, this is beautiful gameplay out of Infamous right here. Knowing their lead, knowing their champions, pushing them to their limit.
Yeah.
Sody Pop on a ward. No one near Fish here on the Leona, so not going in just yet, but Sody Pop might be walking into his death. Here comes the stun. But now Fish might be in trouble here. Cage gonna get dropped, stalling out a little bit longer, but no engage follow-up onto the Leona.
We do see Infamous playing macro here. Aatrox in the bot, Silas at the top, so they are 1-3-1.
Gap in trouble here, getting dove on here by Heaven Time. Rocket Belt forward, but the flash over the red wall will keep ZBO alive for now.
They just can't do any.
Here comes Dive. Cage gonna stop him in his tracks though. Everfrost not gonna land onto the Vigar. But I mean, Infamous Academy are just on the run this entire game now.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of showing by how the Leona gets to play. I mean, Leona doesn't even need her team around to make these kinds of plays. Vision control, the pressure on the map. She doesn't need her team to be there because the Infamous Academy doesn't know if they are there. So it makes it really hard for Infamous Academy to even play this game. And Aatrox is going in here.
Aatrox popping the ultimate. So is Zaya. Stunned up, charmed up. Here comes a double knockup from the Rakan. But Mobai taking so much damage. Flash forward from Midai. Here comes the Echo under the turret. Meanwhile, Dive taking out Sody Pop in the top lane. And it is just complete domination by Infamous all over the map right now. Academy trying to defend their tier 2 mid lane turret, but there is just nothing they can do to this snowball of Infamous.
Yeah. Echo does have the Rift Herald. We'll see if he decides to place it here or not. But it looks like they're just staying away and they're retreating, looking for jungle camps and hopefully just getting a couple backs. I'm ready for the next fight because Drag is coming up in 30 seconds. So
They're trying to play it as safe as they possibly can here. They know that Veigar can scale, Xayah can scale, and they don't want to give them any room to come back here. So they're just going to play for the third dragon, go on soul point, and then if they can't end somehow, then they can always rely on that soul to get them there. But a surrender coming from Infamous Academy. Wow.
Hey, I mean, they're saving the mentals. Game 1 in the history
I completely
books. Infamous gonna take that one, and hopefully game 2 we'll see a different look out of Infamous Academy. We'll be right back with the draft for game 2. The FF.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Game 2 of Infamous versus Infamous Academy. We saw Infamous put on a dominant performance in Game 1, taking the victory, really decisively. And yeah, we're just hopping right into draft here for Game 2. Already ran through the first phase of bans. And Viego first pick being picked up by Infamous Academy. Really strong prio pick in the current meta.
Obviously, in LCS, you're watching them, you see they pick that or they ban it almost every single time. Diana, amazing response. Varus, those are some great 2 picks. Honestly, I'd love to see those. I think that's a lot stronger than what we were seeing last time in draft. I mean, this is phenomenal drafting right here.
Oh yeah, I have to definitely agree. I mean, these picks are definitely just top tier picker band right now in any major pro scene. Diana, Vars, and Viego all being great picks. I I love me some Diana for those of you that have watched me play recently. And they returned with the Sejuani, which is I don't know how the matchup is actually. I haven't really played it, but it's interesting.
I have seen Sejuani popping up a lot more frequently in pro play.
Ooh, is that Viego's
Armeo
top?
on Team Liquid being playing it a lot, and yeah, Yone being locked in third, so most likely will be Viego top. Yone and Viego could swap mid and top, but most likely it will be the Yone mid and Viego top lane. And Sejuani
That's
being
quite
picked up in
curious, actually.
jungle.
Now that you say that, though, because
Yeah,
where's their AP damage?
Exactly. Yeah.
maybe
And
we see a Ziggs.
oh,
I think that's a prio ban here. Honestly, into the Varus, it could really be a strong pick too. Answer the range with range.
Mordekaiser being picked up, I guess to respawn to the Viego, assuming the Viego is top.
Hmm.
I'm not sure about that pick actually. I would have liked to see something more early game centered, maybe a Renekton or
Hmm.
something along those lines. I'm not sure if they play it or not, but Renekton would
Ah,
have been great
Okay.
here. Oh,
So there
two.
is the Ziggs ban. Ziggs definitely needed to be banned. Yeah,
yeah.
Ziggs, pretty much S tier AP carry still in the bot lane.
Hmm.
And like you said, they needed AP damage, so Ziggs will be taken away here. And there's really not too many options left for Infamous Academy here to get some AP onto their team.
Yeah, I can't even really think of too many picks. You could try to go for a Kaisa just to get a little bit of AP. You could maybe try a Kog'Maw pick here, but and that's definitely possible since you're blue side. You can B4, B5 it, but ultimately you're not going to get a heavy AP carry here. Maybe you can try Azir. I don't know. It seems rough.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I do want to point out something before we get too deep into draft. Sejuani has double melees, and Viego has his passive where he double procs anything really, any on hit effects. So that is a super crucial combo there. They can just insta stun
Oh.
anyone. Oh, Nasus.
Nasus being picked up for Infamous. Okay,
No,
Nasus
that's
is
his
Lee
problem.
Sin. So Nasus is actually going to be Lee Sin here, so ignore the Nasus. Lee Sin still pretty high prio for a lot of the pro teams playing Lee Sin, flexing him around still. Most likely will be Lee Sin in the mid lane this game. Mordekaiser going to be up in the top lane, and Karma being picked up for Infamous Academy. I guess that's some AP, but it's not an AP threat.
No, I completely agree, and it isn't an AP threat, but still, just looking at those 4 champions alone, that looks like a disgusting composition. You run in, they can't handle it, and you just win. Just like how Infamous played the last game. Although the Jin pick is curious. No AP damage. Almost no AP damage. Obviously, Yone does a little bit of mix, but almost no AP damage means that Jin's gonna actually really show those people who just bam a ton of armor. So I'm not too sure about that one actually. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Jin pick. I correct me if I'm wrong, Waffle, but Jin is really bad into tanks, right? He doesn't really do a lot of DPS with
Yeah, he
people
struggles a
that
little bit. Yeah.
yeah, with people that stack armor. So it's definitely gonna be interesting. I'm not too sure about Infamous Academy comp, but we'll see.
Oh,
Yeah,
Blitzcrank?
Yeah, Blitzcrank locked in here for Infamous. Fish does like to play Blitzcrank a lot in the bot lane. So Blitzcrank picked up here for Infamous as the last pick on the red side. And going back to the Jin pick, yeah, Jin pick is very questionable for Academy here. I think going something like you mentioned, like maybe even the Kaisa for a little bit of AP, Kog'Maw, something like that. But Jin really struggling against people who want to build armor, and when you have a full AD comp, they're gonna be building a lot of armor. So kind of outdrafting yourself there a little bit. But who knows? The rest of the comp for Academy do look very dangerous if they can get a lead.
I completely agree, and I mean, I know this sounds a little bit far fetched, but honestly, when you're like this hard dive and you have a karma, I honestly want to have mine last pick like the E5 Yasuo. Just put it in there, say, hey, you're not ultimate bars because I'm Yasuo, and then anything Viego, Sejuani, what they do, he ults it, and they just completely run you over. I would have actually been very excited to see that pick, but the Jin, I respect it. It's strong into almost any matchup. He's gonna poke out Varus a little bit, level 1, level 2, and maybe he can look for some kills in laning phase. I do think he'll struggle, but overall, I love it. But the Blitzcrank pick is actually I actually like it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Blitzcrank pick is really good. Um, I like both comps, honestly. I really do. I think Yone could just be the hyper carry that Academy needs, especially with the Sejuani frontlining and the Karma Shields pulling it out. But Infamous has this, once again, Wombo comp, looking for these team fights with Diana, Varus, and hopefully even getting picks with Blitzcrank. So we'll see how they play it out.
Yeah, and as we're entering the draft phase here, I mean, this is a very curious comp. I mean, how does the Lee Sin do into Yone or Veigo?
So, I mean, as far as in the laning phase, Lee Sin's gonna have a pretty good time early on before Yone can get some items, I believe. So it looks like right now in draft, Lee Sin is locked in the jungle position,
Mm-hmm.
but could easily be swapped before draft is over with the Diana.
Well, then
So
let's look at the opposite side. What about the Diana then?
Diana into Yone is not bad for Diana whatsoever. Diana usually likes the AD melee matchups because obviously her W shield is going to be super effective in trading in lane. Diana, still a strong mid laner, although much more often seen in the jungle, can definitely put on really good performances in the mid lane, scale well. Diana loves getting levels and XP, so all good for a solo lane champion.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just think that this is these comps once again. I think it comes down to which team plays it better. Once again, and I mean, just because I feel like Viego, Yone, they're gonna have a great time just running people over in the mid to late game. Sejuani gonna provide a lot of spacing, but also a lot of engage for this team, which they have amazing follow up for. Jin obviously is going to be the supportive AD carry of this game, not really looking to carry, but looking to set up Viego and Yon to start popping off. And so I'm thinking here that Sejuani is actually going to play topside here and just try and get these solo lanes ahead. Because even if Jin's behind, Jin ultimate slowing, Jin ultimate root, very important. But that would also be really rough because you have Varus Blitzcrank, who is really going to punish your bot lane if you don't have your jungler there, since their jungle with the Blitzcrank engage is going to be extremely hard to deal with. It looks like a very close game.
Yeah. Definitely. I agree. If I were Academy, I would just tell my jungler, ignore bot, just focus on solo lanes. They have the small passive combo with Yone and Viego being both melee. So Sejuani can just get some easy ganks, go Q, E, and then should just be free. So I hopefully see that and come into action, and hopefully they can snowball the game like that. But Infamous still has the Wombo, right? So I think if they play it slow and they get to mid game, Diana
Mm-hmm.
and Varus are just gonna take over fights. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
I completely agree, and I mean, obviously, you only really have the early game to get Viego or Yon ahead. Whoever's top lane, I think it's Viego here now. Because Mordekaiser, once he gets level 6, you're not tower diving him. Like, he is an ultimate weak side pick once he gets to that level 6. So they only really have the early game to get this done. So it's gonna be interesting, honestly. Like the first 5 to 10 minutes is really going to determine how the rest of the game is gonna play out.
I agree with both of you here, and heading into game 2 very shortly, we'll be right back with Lotus Infamous versus Infamous Academy. Welcome back to game 2 of Lotus Infamous versus Lotus Infamous Academy. This time we will have Infamous on the red side and Infamous Academy on the blue side. Both comps being switched up a decent amount, and I already see pings going down with the Blitzcrank. We might get some level 1 action this game.
Oh yeah, we're looking for the Blitz invade here, and they're all stacking up. Oh,
Okay.
Oh.
Blitzcrank.
This is scary.
Oh,
he
no,
fires
land
the
onto the Jin, but the nice flash immediately back over the wall, gonna save him for now. as we see the bee emote and cat being thrown up. Pretty cheeky out of Infamous here, level 1, but to be expected when you have a Blitzcrank.
Yeah, that's definitely big for Infamous to get the flash off Jin, so makes him susceptible to ganks now, and hopefully Lee Sin starts top and path is down to abuse that, right? He has no
Yeah,
flash,
not
so
yeah.
should be free.
I completely agree, but he could also just sweep camp here. I mean, what I would love to see is for Varus and Blitzcrank to not have to leash here, get down to bot lane, pull the waves out of the wave pushes into them, then Lee Sin comes down for the gank level 2, level 3, and kills them. Because obviously, unfortunately, Jin, Karma, they're leashing, so they're not going to be in the lane to get a prio, which is very important in this matchup. So, thus, Varus and Blitzcrank could have heavily punished, but this is still heavily favoring Varus and Blitzcrank because they're going to get to the lane at the same time, look for punishes. I mean, honestly, I'm excited to see what Lee Sin's going to do with this.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Sejuani is gonna go for the Raptors, looking to semi-full clear, skipping the Krugs, and she's gonna be pathing topside, trying to get this Viego ahead.
Couple things that I want to note really quick. Blitzcrank did take the Predator this game, so maybe looking for some more roams rather than staying in lane the entire time. Maybe trying to get the Diana fed a little bit more mid. And Sodi popped this game on the Yone. Last game was on the Vigar, so a really big change of pace here for Sodi pop in the mid lane. And I'm really looking at both of the solo lanes of Infamous Academy to turn it around this game. And they're on the main carries, so they got to get it done.
Yeah. Definitely seems like a completely different game this time around. We see that there's pressure mid and bot. Top is pretty even, but having a Sejuani as a jungler, this is definitely a good thing because now Mordekaiser has a chance of being ganked here once she finishes her clear. So we'll see.
Wow, and this is actually very impressive. I mean, somehow Varus is managing to outtrade the Jin here. Now, Blitzcrank is not a very good solo laner, or sorry, laner. He's actually normally his best in the mid game to late game. Laning, it's really not his specialty. And so normally what we would see here is Varus getting poked out, having a really hard time, and honestly, it really just comes down to how hard can Jin Karma pressure this Varus to get him out of the game. But engage top lane.
The flash underneath the turret. Freshburger gonna pick up first blood, but taking that soul under turret doesn't actually get rid of aggro, so gonna go down there. But now we got a 1v1 between ZBO and Heaven Time. Lee Sin definitely the better end, but nice dodge by ZBO here. Both top laners TPing in. Midai not gonna be able to land the Q, and Freshburger looking to turn it around, maybe still in a 2v2. ZBO gap getting pulled back in, but a stun going on to Midai. Freshburger trying to stack up the Conqueror, will have it, but not gonna spill any more blood, so it's gonna overall be a 1-for-1, but Hook gonna land onto the Jin as Ignite being dropped, and Linguini looking with the piercing arrow, gonna pick that one up for the Blitzcrank, but now a duel in the jungle as Heaven Time's gonna pick up the solo kill onto ZBO gap, and all of a sudden the map just exploding.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sejuani does not win that. ZBO went for the Q over the wall, looking for the Lee Sin, but it was a massive misplay because Lee Sin is one of the best early game junglers, and he wins almost any duel in the early game. So he could just pick up that kill, and it's gonna be huge for him.
Freshburger and Midai looking for a little bit of a trade here in the top side, but neither going to commit too hard onto each other. And I really do like the aggression out of Freshburger early on. Gonna get pulled back in here and slammed down, taking the worst end of a little bit of these trades now. But I like the aggression of him diving under turret, getting the first blood. Definitely not gonna be too timid after the first game.
Yeah, I mean, that's really that's honestly really impressive to see Infamous Academy making plays happen topside. I mean, we said that Viego is kind of their carry, and they need to make plays topside to help Yone and Viego just kind of get ahead, and beautifully executed. It's really unfortunate that on the bottom side of the map where Jin and Karma need to be going even, not dying, a play happens, and that's Infamous playing beautifully as a team. Just kind of winning 2v2s. I don't think they should be winning bot lane, honestly.
ZBO gap looking for the gank here in the top side. Freshburger gonna get chunked really low, not gonna be able to land the stun, and I'm not sure if Infamous Academy have the damage here to finish off Midai. Gonna go in now with the Sejuani, gonna look like the stun's gonna land here. Freshburger healing back a little bit, and Midai stunned up once again, and it looks like he will go down. I take it back, they do have the damage, but Infamous will trade another kill in the mid lane.
Yeah.
And yeah, very impressive stuff. Like I was saying, making a play top side to get him ahead. But Infamous, they know that is their win con, is getting Yone and Viego ahead. So they make a play on mid to shut down Yone, because while Viego's getting ahead, Yone's falling behind. And they need both of them to be ahead. Infamous only needs one to be behind for them to really just dominate this game.
Yeah, exactly. I do like how the Sejuani is punishing this Mordekaiser. Pre-6, I think Midai is super close to 6. I think he gets it. Yep, he gets it now. So it is going to be a bit scarier to go for these ganks, but hopefully they can make stuff happen and snowball the game. Get this Viego ahead, and hopefully help this Yone, because he looks like he has it having a rough time. Oh, that's pretty engaged.
Here comes Zodipop, gonna go in with the ultimate, landing it onto Dive now, gonna get stunned up, followed up by ZBO, and that's gonna be another kill going over to the Sejuani.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was talking about. Get this Yone ahead. It is unfortunate that he does not get the kill. Sejuani grabs that one, but it is still gold, right? He still manages to push this wave in. Oh,
but they're going in.
Here comes the Predator Blitzcrank. We are talking about another row mid. Sodipop now dashing back into 4 members. Dive with the TP as well. Back into the mid lane, and Linguini roaming up from bot side, going to be able to pick up the kill this time.
Oh.
That was beautiful flash timer tracking, knowing he doesn't have it up, even though it's about to come up here. They know that they can make the play. They know they can do that. And now they're looking bot lane.
Yeah, we have 3 members running back bot. Here comes the shield from Karma, trying to speed him away, but the ward hop over the wall. Now Daddy I'm close looking at the Jin. Kick back onto the Karma. Gonna be in so much trouble. Linguini picking up another kill. And yeah, that's gonna be another one over to the Varus.
Yeah. Infamous right now just looking like they're on tour, right? From mid to bot, from bot to mid. They're just going everywhere. We see a small trade here. Oh.
Look like might have gone for the all-in, but not going to happen as Sodipop looking onto the Diana, and ZBO is here once again. Dive in a little bit of trouble. Ultimate going to work. The stun might be able to land here. Going to get stunned up. Will there be enough damage? But Lee Sin going to come in with the safeguard. Not going to go in time, and now Heaven Time putting himself in between 2 members. Flash is going to fail. Sodipop trying to go after him. Oh, and the Warthog's going to be able to get him out now. That's so tragic for Infamous Academy.
I honestly wonder, did Lee Sin fake the flash to bait the Yone flash? I'm very curious at this point. That was very, I don't know if it was genuine or not, but that was impressive.
Yeah, that was the best of the worst situation. He fails the flash, but Yone tries to predict it and accidentally goes over the wall. And then he manages to war jump right after Yone tries to go around. So, I mean, either really well played or just really lucky. Either way, he manages to live.
Heaven Time maybe looking for the steal, but it's a 4v2. Sodipop gonna go in a little bit early with the ultimate now, trying to find more. Lee Sin in a rough spot here. Will there be enough damage? Done gonna land, and here comes the curtain call. Dive though on the backline, gonna look to cancel this one out. 2 people drug back in with the Diana ultimate, but Dive doesn't have the damage just yet. Hook gonna land onto the Jin, and piercing arrow is gonna be enough to take him out. Now Sodipop trying to do anything he can, but he's gonna get taken out as well. That's a double kill for the Varus as ZBO and JK trying to make their way out, but the ward hop over the wall, trying to follow up the Sejuani, knockup coming through, and that's going to be a 3rd over to Infamous.
This Blitzcrank is popping off, dude. I'm loving the pick. I'm loving how it's playing. It is dominating the map. Every team fight, it is finding something. It is, I mean, even not in team fights, in skirmishes, in picks. I mean, this Blitzcrank is not giving up.
Yeah. I wanted to point out there, really good ult by Diana, by Dive. He manages to get 2, and then he does the damage on 3 while moving, and he flashes over the wall once he gets super low and lets his team get a couple kills there. So really well played. Oh, yeah, thought there was gonna be an engage there.
Looking at these matchups once again, now that we're kind of starting to coast into the 10-minute mark, we're starting to come into the mid game a little bit. You know, we got to start thinking about this. What is Infamous Academy's win con? It was Viego and it was Young. And so bot lane being behind isn't really too bad. I mean, we didn't they didn't really care if they got behind. They didn't really want to carry here, so it's pretty okay. They're in a great spot still as Mordekaiser are going
Freshburger
in.
gonna get ulted up by the Mordekaiser Medai, not gonna land the Q, but here becomes ZBO gap. It's gonna turn into a 2v2. Can Infamous Academy win this one out? Stun gonna land, but Blitzcrank coming in very soon. Ultimate gonna go forward. The soul will be collected
The
here by
reset.
Freshburger.
Oh.
He has the reset. Silence coming out from the Blitzcrank, stalling a little bit longer. Freshburger trying to go over. Sonic Wave gonna go into the minion there, and that's gonna be 2 kills picked over for the side of Infamous Academy.
Now that is
My
huge. That's
God.
exactly what I was talking about. The bot lane being behind, it doesn't matter because the Viego, the Yone, they're still in this game. Find another kill bot side though.
Here comes Sody Pop on to Dive. Dive now in the middle of 3 members. Sejuani gonna look for the stun, but a nice dodge out by Dive. Gonna turn her right back around onto Freshburger. Now Heaven Time and Dive might be able to win out on this 2v2, but so much damage coming out from the duo. But Heaven Time gonna be able to finish it out. I don't know if ZBO has this. Okay, he does have enough damage to finish that one out, but so close to turning that back from Infamous.
Yeah, super close. I think Academy's doing a really good job trying to get this Viego ahead. Oh, looks like Dive is going for
onto
ZBO.
ZBO. ZBO stayed a little bit too long. Flash onto the blast cone, and Sejuani able to get out using the blast cone. And ZBO able to actually live there, as Jin might be in a little bit of trouble here. If Fish wants to look for the Predator in the lane, does have Flash available as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a very, very, very enticing play to make. But we'll see if they actually go for it. Varus looking for a reset, I think. And I mean, I think that's a better play. Oh, no, they're going in.
Here comes Fish. They're going to land the knockup onto the Jin. So much damage coming out. And Mobai just has no chance of surviving in this 2v2. 6-0-2. Linguini, the silent carry here in the bot lane, just stacking up these kills and gonna put himself at a very, very big advantage going into mid game.
Forget what I said. Backing was not the better play. Clearly they know what they're doing in this game. The Blitzcrank is popping off. Varus, he finds a solo kill onto the Karma, then they make a play a few minutes later onto the Jin, and it's just these kills single-handedly are getting Varus so far ahead. But once again, I can't stress enough, this Viego, this Young, they're still ahead. Jin being 0-3, Karma being 0-2, it doesn't matter. What matters is what's happening topside. Honestly, Varus being fed, it's great and all, but he can get one shot so easily. So it's still a close game here. How well can Varus carry this team at this point since he's so far ahead is really what it comes down to.
Okay, looks like Fish might have been looking for the all-in there on the bot line, but Sody Pop and ZBO once again looking for a play on the mid lane. Ultimate gonna land this time, but not long enough. Rooted up, stunned up once again. Here comes the flash ultimate, and Diana, not long for the world. Sody Pop still getting another assist though. Heaven Time now in a 1v2, and so much damage actually coming out of this Sejuani, who is now sitting at 6-2. And I have to say, if there is one highlight from the past 2 games, it would be ZBO gap in the jungle.
Definitely. I I really wish. Oh,
going in.
Gonna land. Here comes the Varus ultimate, and
the TP.
Jin wiped off the map. But Freshburger wants to turn this one around. Stun not gonna land. Flash away by the Blitzcrank. Heaven Time is waiting, and here comes the answer TP from Diana. JK taken out to a quarter HP already from one of the piercing arrows. Now Dive is back here. Doesn't have ultimate available for this dragon, but I don't think Infamous Academy have what they need to fight this right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, Viego, he's very strong, you know, but they just used Yoneo and Sejuani onto the Diana, so really hard for them to contest this. Karma is really low. Just give up the dragon. It's okay. Realistically here, neither team is really looking for a Dragon Soul win con. It more comes down to the champions. So, personally, I think perfectly fine to give that up. Just make sure that Yon and Viego can stay in a strong position. Although it is really unfortunate here that Sejuani is 6-2. I would love to see Yone getting any, if all these kills. I mean, that is the one thing that is really putting them in a rough spot this game, and why Yone isn't quite ahead, because he only has 4 assists.
Looks like we are looking at a dive possibly in the bot lane, but Sody Pop with the TP looking for an answer. There's 4 members of each team now in the bot lane dive, now stuck between for members of Infamous Academy. Root not going to land, but the flash over the wall to ensure that the other Root does. And Sody Pop finally picking up a kill for himself as Dive going to go back to the fountain.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great counterplay by Infamous there. Academy, obviously. They did a great job there. Ooh, but counter engage.
Hook gonna land, and once again, anybody hit with these hooks are just getting wiped off the map immediately. Varus just way too much burst damage at this point.
And you have to start asking the question, who is the real carry of this game? Is it the Blitzcrank or is it the Varus?
Yeah. Oh, right here.
Oh, pulled back. Not going to take any turret aggro just yet. And Freshburger does have the Sunder with the Vamp Scepter completed. So quite a bit of sustain if you can get the Conqueror procced in those 1v1 trades. But, I mean, it is just so terrifying for Infamous Academy to step up anywhere now without vision. Because if they get hooked, they're just done. And Freshburger going to get ulted, taken into the death realm by Midai. Midai wants to take this one on a 1v1, but Freshburger gonna use the ultimate to get out. Flash as well, but here comes a Blitzcrank speeding forward. A nice W to dodge out on the hook, but Infamous, they're not done. Ward hop forward. Freshburger now stuck between the turret. Flash kick not going anywhere. And oh, but gonna be traded immediately back onto ZBO. So ZBO in the right place at the right time very often for Infamous Academy, but now stuck between three members, hooked back in, knocked back up. Midai and Dive are here to follow up. Sody Pop trying to come from mid. ZBO is extremely tanky, trying to stall this one out. Ultimate is available for the Yone. Bait sealed coming in, gonna miss though, not gonna land on anyone, and this is surely gonna be enough to take out Sody Pop as well. Dive and Midai now finishing out on the job. Sody Pop able to turn it back on to Fish on the Blitzcrank, but it won't be enough.
Yeah, and I mean that was really well done by the Mordekaiser, finding the Viego, knowing he's caught out, Blitzcrank showing up. It's just an unfortunate turn of events at the end of that, but at the end of the day, they clean it up, make it work, and that's the thing about this team. If individuals make mistake, it's okay, because as a team, they'll cover each other for their weaknesses, and they will ultimately come out ahead.
Yeah, and Dive actually going to take tier 1 mid now, so a good influx of gold going into the Diana's pocket.
I mean, taking the mid tower tier 1 too is actually opening up a potential Baron here. I don't think they take Baron too fast, but the mid outer down, that means that the minion wave actually crashes farther into the mid lane, which makes it harder for them to push up and actually contest for Baron vision. I think they would go with Dragon too as well, and that's really rough for this team because now you're in a position where they can just keep taking objectives because their ADC stronger. But it looks like they're going for an engage here.
Freshburger onto Linguini, caught up by himself. Root not going to land, a nice flash away, but here comes the ultimate, trying to finish it off. His Dive coming over the wall, immediately taking out JK. Now Sody Pop trying to turn around onto Dive, but a good stasis going to keep him alive for now. ZBO going to stun up the Diana, and here comes the reset from Freshburger. Stun going to land onto the Lee Sin, and here comes the curtain call. Fish running for the hills now, and Infamous Academy may have found an angle that they needed back into this game.
That is such a beautiful play, and it's just like I was saying, the Jhin, the Karma being behind, it doesn't matter. What matters is this top side trio. These guys are just popping off. They're ahead. Yone finally getting some kills, and that's putting him in a fantastic position. Once he gets the 2 items, once Viego gets the 2 items, they're in a fantastic spot to carry. Varus cannot afford to get caught out like that if he really wants to solidify this win for his team. Everybody just coming back onto the map.
Yeah, looks like everyone's going to be resetting, running towards his dragon, looking for the next fight here. And, I mean, okay, Infamous Academy first to the dragon, Fish with the Predator, waiting here, trying to make something happen, but the rest of Infamous are not around, and most likely will just be giving this one up as Fish looking for a little bit of a cheeky steal, not going to be able to get it this time.
Yeah, I mean, this is beautiful gameplay, I think, at Infamous Academy. I mean, it doesn't look easy. It looks like, you might be thinking, well, their bot lane is so far behind, how are they not tilting? It's just because they are a team and they know how to keep their mentals together, how to work together. And I mean, this is honestly working. I mean, it doesn't really matter what happens bot side, what matters is top side. And top side so far, DBO gap just gapping the jungle right now, honestly, with these amazing plays. Lee Sin's doing great, but ZBO's been there at every moment, picked up so many kills. I mean, his KP is practically perfect. 13 out of 14. I don't think he could be playing much better. I mean, phenomenal, honestly.
Yeah, I completely agree. ZBO is having a really, really massive game here on Sejuani in game 2, picking up the Warmogs now, so 2 items deep for the Sejuani, and it's going to get increasingly hard on the side of Infamous to actually take out this frontline Sejuani, also picking up a Bramble Vest, so 2.5 items deep already on the Sejuani, and Yone really, really wants to get to that second item, Power Spike, and even in the bot lane, CS is still even as Infamous looking for Fresh Burger, but not going to be able to commit any further.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot emphasize enough how much, honestly, this team is doing good. I mean, last game we saw that Infamous was doing great, working together, and that was what gave them their edge. This game, however, Infamous Academy is adopting that, but Blitzcrank looking for an engage.
Gale Force away, not gonna be enough though. Knock up, pulled back, silent. Vera's gonna land, and that's gonna be all she wrote for Mobai on the Jhin. But here comes Sody Pop. 3 members, 2 on the Fate Sealed. Sejuani all coming over the cross. That's gonna be a reset already for the Yone. I mean, for the Viego, excuse me. Yone though, cleaning up, getting taken into the Death Realm, trying to do what he can to survive. Midai though, gonna answer back most likely. Gonna get taken out in the meantime. Yone as well though. That's going to be a 2-for-4 ZBO gap now, looking forward onto dive, trying to get the stun off. Almost there, gonna finally get that. Here comes Viego over the top, looking for the ultimate. One more reset is all that he needs, but a nice Zanya's ultimate underneath the turret. Gonna keep dive alive for now, but that's gonna be an ace for Infamous Academy, and they are turning it around here in game 2.
All right, phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal gameplay. I'm loving watching this. The Jhin gets caught out, and the team immediately responds. A TP from the Yone finds an amazing Sejuani ultimate with the Yone ultimate. I mean, it was just amazing. Just like how draft was expected to go. It doesn't really matter what this bot lane does, and I can't emphasize this enough. The Jhin can die 20 times, and it doesn't matter. This Viego, Sejuani, and Yone just getting buffed up by the Karma are able to run over this team composition. And these early leads for the bot lane, they're phenomenal, but is it really enough to solo carry this game? I mean, it's not looking like it. They're gonna need to start playing better, but Blitzcrank looking for another engage.
Mobai a little bit too far up in the side lane, once again trying to Gale Force away, but hooked back in. Mobai gonna take another trip to the Nexus. But I mean, like you said, Waffle, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Of course, it obviously hurts to see Jhin getting picked on like this as much as he is by the Blitzcrank and crew, but the top side of the map for Lotus Academy are just becoming so strong. I really don't know how Lotus, or Infamous Academy and Infamous, excuse me. I don't know how Infamous can really respond to the skirmishing power of the top side of Infamous Academy.
Yeah, I don't know either. As they're looking to set up this dragon here, I mean, this is really rough. The dragon is. I mean, they're looking for a fight.
Diana gonna get dived on now by the Viego. Already gonna drop the ultimate and trying to escape, but Freshburger taking out. This is what Infamous need to win a fight. ZBO gap now, and JK looking for dive, but a flash over the wall gonna reposition him nicely. Sody Pop now looking for the Fate Sealed onto Linguini, not gonna be able to land, but might be enough to get the follow-up damage. No, he's gonna have to go back now, but a hook now onto the Karma. JK taken out now, and this has Infamous all over it. Midai looking to finish it off. Dive going back in again. Sejuani ult gonna land, but only on to Fish. Mobai taken into the Death Realm. He won't be able to survive this one, and Infamous have fought their way back into a winning position.
That was a beautiful find from the Diana, the Lee Sin. I mean, I was surprised that there wasn't more appeal for the Viego. I do think that it was beautifully played and a little bit disjointed, honestly. I expected a little bit more from this team when it comes to these kinds of positioning, but overall, I still think that they're in this game, right? That was one misplay because of how well they're playing topside. They can make a few misplays and still have a chance to win this one. So I'm not too concerned. As long as they pull it back together and they play as a unit, they should be able to still steamroll this game, but that doesn't mean you should count out Infamous here. Once again, the VARs popping off. Lee Sin, he still does tons of damage. We saw that he was able to one-shot the Viego when he was low HP. Diana, obviously, the 5-man ultimates are great as they're looking to
Oh.
start Baron here.
I actually really like this call by Infamous Academy, knowing that the enemy team's tempo is not on the right page and the Baron is just getting absolutely melted. Midai over the wall, Heaven Time maybe trying to steal this, but no. Infamous Academy picking up the Baron right under Infamous nose.
And I love this. They're disengaging immediately. They know that they got a freebie. They do not need to force. Just back, get your items, get your gold, stop Diana's split push, and bring this game to a close. They know that they don't need to worry about fighting there, looking for a pick. They just want to stay together, front to back, win fights with beautiful ultimates. I mean, I'm loving how they're playing, honestly.
Yeah, Yone finally picking up that IE as well. So the 2-item power spike coming in for Sodi Pop in the mid lane. Sejuani obviously still massive, 9-3 and 9. An absolute monster in the jungle here is ZBO, and Freshburger almost to 3 items himself. So still the top side is definitely in a spot where they can carry the game, and the Baron is definitely going to help them put a little bit more pressure around the map.
Yeah, and I mean, we just hit a huge power spike for Varus, though. And this is really going to help. Varus finally finishes his Mura mana. This is extremely important for Varus damage. And at this point, Varus might start being able to impact these fights and actually killing the Sejuani. I mean, huge power spike. And that's actually going to start opening up the game a little bit as they're looking for Viego here. Not going to commit.
Yeah, Dive and Heaven Time looking for the 2v1, but ZBO Gap always waiting in the wings here. Maybe looking to turn it on now. Heaven Time having to dash back to the minion, safeguard away, but here comes Fish. Predator Blitzcrank maybe looking to get a pick here as not going to land with the hook, and the Sejuani ult going to be used to disengage.
I love their decision making here. Once again, they back off the Baron. They know that they got a freebie. They don't need to do anything. Same thing with this inner tower bot lane. They know they got a freebie. No reason to force. They are in the pilot seat right now, and they do not need to do anything. Realistically, this comp is going to keep scaling. This comp is going to keep popping up. And Valley of ours, he scales, but he's going to fall off into these kinds of champions. It's going to be really, really hard for him to really carry.
Oh, but a nice hook over
hook.
the wall. JK flashing away. Shield's going to be able to save him for now, but almost. You can see how lethal this Blitzcrank is when the enemy is trying to siege down, and Freshburger now in trouble, going to get dove on by Dive, now using the ultimate to pull him back in. Midai with the TP, looking for the Death Realm. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Hook going to land onto the Jin. Linguini going to be able to take Mobe out once again, and Freshburger able to survive the aggression here from Infamous in the bot lane, still with the Baron recall, and most likely finishing up a Starax here, 30 at Viego now. Sitting on 3 items. All that Freshburger needs now in these team fights is 1 or 2 resets, and he can completely take over.
Yeah, but Infamous reminding us, once again, that they are not out of this. Their pick potential as a team is phenomenal. Both games, they've shown that they know how to find these picks. They know how to make these plays, separate the team, and then just pick them apart. They're so good at it. We saw the Blitzcrank with a beautiful hook. Then they make a play bot lane, they force a response, and then another hook mid lane, and finally that hook is the killer. And I mean, they know how to pressure, they know how to do these kinds of things. It's a lot of times teams don't fall apart because the enemy team's not pressuring. They fall apart because there's too many decisions to be made. And if you make the wrong decision out of many decisions, you can just die, and that could be game. So we can't forget that even though Viego's really far ahead and Jonas almost hitting his 3-9 power spike, which is huge, they still have potential to win this one. I mean, I would not be surprised if they actually close this one out within the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, most definitely. Fish on the Blitzcrank, putting on a great performance, as she always does on the Blitzcrank. Definitely a fan of that one for Fish, and Varus picking up a Surreal does, I believe is
caught out?
what it's called,
No.
and yeah, both teams looking to fight for posturing over this next dragon. Each team has 2 dragons apiece as well, so this will put either team on soul point.
Yeah, but Mordekaiser's out of position here, and this is going to be really hard to contest. It actually looks like they're not going to contest it. This guy's just showing up just to make them think they're contesting. Actually, they're starting to get in a position here, but the dragon's going to be dead before they get there. Are they looking for an afterplay here?
Oh, here comes the hook though. Jin, the culprit once again, but 3 members pulled back in by the ultimate. A nice stasis from Diana, keep him alive. Freshburger now trying to do what he can, but he's being focused by 4 members. Can he get any resets? Sodipop taken out now. ZBO Gap on his way out of the fight. Freshburger ulting over the wall, but you're going the wrong way. Your Nexus is the opposite direction. Here comes the flash over the wall for me. Dive Freshburger with a nice dodge onto the Varus E, but he's just going deeper and deeper into the enemy base. Hook gonna land. Linguini picking up that one, and they give up the dragon, but they take the dragon fight.
Beautiful. I could not be more impressed by this team. The way that they're playing, they know that they are strong here. And honestly, Infamous Academy a little bit caught out. They were thinking, oh, they're not contesting Dragon here, so we're safe. But no, they were wrong. They were not safe at all. And they instantly find that 4-man Diana ultimate. Beautiful hook from Blitzcrank onto the Jhin, I believe. Just phenomenal gameplay out of these guys. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they end this game within the 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, this is insane. Blitzcrank is honestly carrying like the entire series at this point. Game 1 was carried by Blitzcrank. Like this is insane.
Yeah. Fish obviously on the Leona game 1 putting on a really good performance, and game 2 on the Blitzcrank, hook after hook after hook. All these team fights, all these picks, usually starting out by Fish on the Blitzcrank, and it's so hard to deal with the follow-up damage. There's so much burst coming out of Infamous, and I mean, Viego is strong, yeah, Yone is strong, but they have to put so much work in these team fights to actually turn it around, and it's a big burden. It's a lot to take on if you are those 2 carries of Infamous Academy. And now with Baron on the menu, we'll have to see how these teams want to play.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that I think Blitzcrank's been popping off, but I mean, obviously the Varus has been playing really well too. And speaking of Varus, his items are starting to kind of come online. He's got Shirelda's Grudge. He can start finally one-shotting Sejuani. He's got Chemtech like sword, chain sword, and that item is really going to help with the healing that Yone is obviously spamming, the healing that Viego has, and that's huge. Obviously, he's getting the ninja tabbies too, or the plated steel caps, and that's obviously extremely going to help. And you're gonna be thinking, well, he's not going, on hit Varus, so his Baron taking potential is actually really bad. No, that's not the case. It's actually phenomenal. Well, Blitzcrank is actually looking for a hook here.
Yeah, both mid laners in the bot lane. Dive gonna rocket belt back away now. Maybe looking to turn it back around as ZBO. Looking for a pick in the mid lane. Both teams fighting over Baron Vision, and yeah, maybe you can hook the Sejuani, but I'm not sure that's who you want. Sejuani actually gonna be able to, or be forced, I should say, to use the ultimate there, trying to disengage, as the fear of the rolling golem looking for the hook going to be enough to get that one out. As Dive and Sodipop trading blows in the bot lane. A good stasis going to block out on most of that burst at the end of that trade. Lee Sin looking in the bot lane now. Will Infamous Academy be able to make a play on the opposite side of the map if Lee Sin shows up? But Heaven Time pretty aware of the fact if they try to make a play bot lane, then Baron's most likely going to go to the way of Infamous Academy, opting out of that one. And Yone now sitting on 3 completed items. Sodipop getting very strong. Oh, here comes the Fate Seal. No Zanya's this time on to Dive. One more auto would have been enough to take out the Diana, but no, Dive surviving just barely this time. And really greedy back still by Dive, staying around a little bit longer than I would like to see, but should be able to get away. But Dragon coming up shortly, and this will be Ocean Soul for Infamous Academy. But it looks like they're going to go for Baron. Here comes a TP in from Sodipop. They're going to go for it.
I mean, this is a risky play for sure, but they know that Infamous is probably bot side because of the Dragon coming up. They're coming in, Diana TP in mid. I mean, this is huge.
It's gone. Baron secured once again by Infamous Academy. Are they going to look for the fight? Here comes the engage.
Oh, Infamous is going in.
Can you find a hook? Gonna get rooted up by the Jhin W, but now in a 1v1 on ZBO. ZBO in a rough spot here, going in the opposite direction once again, trying to get enough distance between them to get that Baron empowered recall off and go down to this Dragon. Infamous will give up on the chase and look to go get Prio over this Ocean Soul would be for Infamous Academy.
This is huge. Sejuani's back, being stopped. This puts Infamous into an amazing position where they can get onto the Dragon and perhaps even burst before Sejuani even has a chance to get there. This is exactly what they needed for this soul point. There was no other way for them to get this unless the other team was in out of position.
It might come down to this. Sody Pop over the wall, not going to be able to secure it. It's going to end up being 3 dragons apiece. Will Infamous Academy look for the follow-up play? Freshburger looking forward, dive, cut off from the rest of the team bot side. Here comes the Jin ultimate. Ultimate forward by Freshburger, not going to be able to land as he gets drugged into the death realm, but fate sealed onto Fish on the backline. Blitzcrank will be no long for this world. And now Midai trying to run away. ZBO Gap looking for more. Dive now, turning his attention onto Mobai in the mid lane. Flash forward now, not going to be able to gather up anything there. And Freshburger maybe looking to get himself a little bit of a Diana, but not going to be able to do that. It is a 4v5 for the time being. Baron still available on the side of Infamous Academy as they're progressing in the mid lane. Midai now being forced to flash away. No face shield available right now for Sody Pop as he goes forward back to the E. Dive, no flash, but can get a good flank position here. Stasis going to keep him alive for now. Two drug back in, but not going to be able to pick up anything else. No Stasis available. Sody Pop picking up that one. Varus going to be able to get 3 rooted on the backline and return the kill onto Sody Pop. It's a 4v3 now in the enemy base. Baron's still available, but look at the poke from Varus. Heaven Time landing the flash Sonic Wave, going to be able to take out Sody Pop, and now it's a 3v3. Can they get more? Here comes the slow from the piercing arrow. ZBO Gap taking up the Sonic Wave. Heaven Time now going to follow up, look for the damage, but Mobai putting out a lot of damage of his own. GA available for the Lee Sin, and that will be it. Both teams exchanging blows in the mid lane.
That is huge, and Varus is reminding us Blitzcrank isn't the carry, he's the AD carry. That is in his name. He reminds us that he is on fire and he is a monster to deal with. Finding beautiful ultimate onto the Leon, one-shotting him, finding another beautiful Q onto the Viego, one-shotting him. I mean, he is impacting these fights like as if he's going hyper carry Varus, and it is so impressive to see him do this. And that puts Infamous in an amazing position. Varus finally finishes his GA, and now how are you going to kill him? Once you get onto him and somehow you one-shot him, there's so much peel in ways that they can just turn the fight with picks and stuff like that. So it's going to be really, really hard for Infamous Academy to shut him down. I still think, though, that Infamous Academy is, I mean, their fight's insane.
I'm so glad that we're getting this, big of a banger here in game 2, Waffle, after game 1 being such a blowout in favor of Infamous Academy really not pulling together in game 1, and game 2 keeping the mentals straight, keeping it on track, and really coming out swinging here in game 2. The gold is basically even here. 3 dragons apiece, 66 to 66,000. 38 minutes into the game, everyone's getting close to full build, but here comes Dive onto Sody Pop. Fate Seal's gonna go down and out, turning so much damage back around, and the lifesteal coming out. Stasis now gonna keep Dive alive, but can he survive? Sody Pop now looking to finish it off, not gonna be able to land that last Q, and here comes Fish. Predator procced, but not going to be able to follow up, and both mid laners exchanging blows back and forth, both of them escaping, but here comes the curtain call. Nice snipe out onto Diana. That's a 50-second death timer. ZBO Gap now. Could have possibly looked a little bit more aggressive there onto the Blitzcrank, but going to opt out of that one.
And that is the reminder right there, honestly, that it doesn't matter how many times Jin dies, he is going to be impactful because he's not doing damage, but he is cleaning up. And that is all he needs to do. CC, clean up. All he's got to do right here, as they're looking to push bot lane in.
Yeah, it is a 4v5. Diana still dead for 25 seconds. And this is a small window of time for Infamous Academy to make something happen, but the attention being turned towards Freshburger in the mid lane.
Horus is one-shotting with his Qs. It is so impressive. Blitzcrank always looking for a hook. Can they even siege here? I mean, without
Here
Baron...
comes the engage, though. Fish looking for the hook. Not going to be able to land this time. And Freshburger, meanwhile, pushing in the mid inhib. And the macro actually being played so well right now by Infamous Academy. But here comes Dive. Can Freshburger actually survive this overextension? Going to look to ultimate out, and there he goes. Sonic Wave not going to land. Dive it, still looking for more, but now ZBO Gap getting drugged into the Death Realm. Mobai, Sody Pop, and JK all waiting for his arrival out of the Death Realm. Here comes Sody Pop, not going to follow up with the Fate Sealed. And Sonic Wave landing on a ZBO Gap. Heaven Time going in. He's going to get knocked back and not looking for anything more. And this game is on a knife's edge here, 40 minutes in. And this is Soul. Either team, this is Dragon Soul. This is the deciding fight of the game right here.
It is the deciding fight, and both Diana and Mordekaiser have TP here, So
Fish.
either one can back.
Here comes
Diego
the
has
TP
TP.
knock up onto Sody Pop, but a fate sealed onto 2 might be enough. Dive now coming in, but Sody Pop immediately taken out. Mobi's next on the menu. He's gone. Freshburger coming in too late, and this might be it for Infamous Academy. Hook gonna land. Where you going, ZBO Gap? Kick onto Freshburger. He's done. That's 3 dead. 2v5. ZBO maybe looking to finish this one out, going over the wall, but he's trying to go for a miracle steal. It's not going to work. That's going to be 4 for 0, and Ocean Soul going over to Infamous, and they may have just sealed the fate of Academy in this second game.
I mean, it is looking so incredibly close. I cannot tell you. I have not had a second to breathe during this game. I'm stumbling over my words. I mean, this is such a phenomenal match out of both of these teams. It is so well played by both sides. And I mean, they can't end here, but they can get Ocean Soul and they can get Baron. That is absolutely massive for them. I mean, these 2 buffs right here are going to let them actually do that front to back that they've been struggling to do. Finally, now that their team has their items, they've gotten to the late game. Diana can 1v9, Vars can 1v9, all their champions are strong, and they have Ocean Soul. They can finally stand their ground, and all of a sudden the advantages of Infamous Academy is kind of negated. Now, I'm not saying it's over, though. Infamous Academy, obviously, they outscale a little bit, and their comp is phenomenal, but they've been getting kind of beaten in their own play style and their own team's advantages. They've still been kind of beaten a little bit, and now that there's an advantage towards Infamous, I'm starting to think that this is a confident win for Infamous.
Yeah, Infamous definitely in the driver's seat now. The Ocean Soul on top of everything is Dive has Heaven Time behind him. Maybe gonna look for it. Sody Pop now using the E, but a little bit in the wrong. You're in between 3 members. Fate Sealed not gonna be able to get him out of there alive. Midai TPing in as well in the bot lane, and this might be the push to end the game here. Game 2. Such a close game for the majority of the time, but 4v5 for 50 seconds. Baron, Ocean Soul, here comes ZBO Gap. Can they make the impossible happen? JK already taken down. ZBO Gap now getting taken into the death realm, I believe. Freshburger trying to make it happen, but 3 members of Infamous are all over him. Heaven Time going to pick that one up. ZBO Gap going down next. Mobi trying to make something happen, flashing away into his own base, but Infamous are unrelenting in their assault here in the bot lane. It looks like they will have enough to take game 2 going forward. ZBO Gap, what a phenomenal performance, trying to put his team in a winning position here in game 2, but that's going to be all she wrote, surely. Infamous able to pick up the 2-0 just barely here, and wow, I mean, what a comeback from Infamous Academy. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough this time, but I'm sure they have unfinished business here.
Beautiful game, honestly. I love this so much. I mean, just amazing, man. What do you have to say about it?
I mean, after game 1, I can't say that anyone was expecting Infamous Academy to put on this kind of performance, but ZBO was such a monster on the Sejuani this game, making it happen in the top side, making it happen top, mid. I mean, ZBO really almost carried his team to victory here in game 2.
I completely agree, and it's amazing to see this bot lane, just both sides trying their best. Unfortunately, though, Infamous just showing how insane the gap is between the ADC and the support. I mean, phenomenal gameplay out of their bot lane. I mean, I don't think they would have won if they had a different bot lane. And Diana, obviously, you've seen the damage charts, is just unstoppable. Just the damage she does, the beautiful ultimates during the entire game and every team fight. She was just such an amazing player that game.
Yeah, 50k damage there on the Diana here in game 2. And I believe that's all that she wrote here tonight for us. Lotus, Infamous, able to take the win over Infamous Academy tonight in 2-0 fashion. But, I mean, like I said, I'm sure Infamous Academy want the rematch as soon as they can.
Yeah, too close. Too close. Too close for comfort.
Thank you, Emma, for putting on the stream for us tonight. Thank you, Waffle. Thank you, Yoshi, everyone, for coming onto the stream. And yeah, that's going to be it. We'll see you guys next time.